Hello everyone, welcome back to this lecture in which we are going to study about effective stress and total stress for the dry soil. Now, please understand that in the previous lecture, we studied that the total stress is the summation of effective stress and the pore water pressure. Yes, that is sometimes also written as mu W, just to indicate the water. But if I am talking about the dry soil, then there is no water present in this dry soil. So as no water is present, what I can say with surety that the pore water pressure will also be zero. As there is no water, how can you say that water will take some pressure? So obviously from here you can say that the total stress will be equal to the effective stress or the intergranular stress for this particular case when there is no water present in the soil. Now, also understand that if I am talking about a particular soil, this is the ground level and there is some external force also that is applied on this particular soil. Let us suppose that its intensity is equals to be Q kilonewton per meter square. This is the stress that is because of any other structure that you have constructed or some load that you have placed there, or maybe it is a stack of cement only. But yes, it is imparting some vertical force on the ground level. And we want to study that how this particular soil will have the values of effective stress and the total stress along with the depth Z. Now, let us assume that if I ask you that what will be the stress acting on the solids that are present here. So what you can see that there is no soil molecule or soil solid that is present above this top surface solids, but still as there is some external force acting on the soil top, these soil solids will experience some vertical force and that will be because of this external surcharge. So what I can see here that the effective stress on the solids will be because of the external force, and that is the effective stress at the ground level, and that will be equals to be Q because of the external force. But if we go down at a particular depth and at a particular layer that is termed as XX, which is at a distance of x from the ground surface. So what you can see here that not only small q stress must be acting here, but also there will be a stress because of the presence of a soil column above this particular level. And let us suppose that I am observing a soil column of area equals to be capital A, and the depth of this particular soil column is nothing but that is small x. Then what you can see here that apart from small q, there will be an additional force because of the self weight of the soil acting on this level. Yes or no? And that additional force will be nothing but that will be the unit weight of this particular soil, that is gamma d. By gamma d, because the soil is dry soil, into the area of this particular column into the depth, and the depth of this column at this depth is nothing but that is small x divided by area to get the value in terms of the stress, because obviously this whole expression is indicating the stress value, that is small q. So from here what you can see that it will be equals to be small q plus gamma d into x at any level, and from here you can see that this is sigma dash x, and this is nothing but this is directly proportional to x raised to power 1, and hence we can here say that sigma x is directly proportional to x to the power 1. That means this is nothing but this is a linear function. This is a linear function. And if I am talking about a depth of z, then the value will be nothing but that will be equals to be small q plus gamma d into z. Yes or no? So from here, if we want to plot the graph for sigma dash, that is the effective stress, what I can see here, that at the top, that is at the ground level, the value is a small q, and after that there is a linear increase in the value of effective stress, and at the bottom, at a depth of your z, what you can see, that small q term will remain constant, but this value will become equals to be gamma d into z. Yes or no? So this variation is nothing but this is linear, and that is why I have plotted this increase by a straight line. Okay, and yes, this is at the ground level. But as you already know that this is the diagram for sigma dash, then the diagram for total stress will also be same, will be exactly same as this. So this diagram should be exactly copied to get the diagram of total stress here. Diagrams for both will be exactly same here, and even we can say that these will be equal, as the total stress and effective stress are equal for the dry soil condition, because there is no water that is present in the soil, and the increase in the effective stress or total stress will be linear with the depth, and the rate of increase will be nothing but that will be gamma d. So what is the rate of increase? Here you can say that rate of increase of sigma dash is gamma d in the dry soil. So that's all for the first case, that is dry soil, and I hope you must have understood, and because this is the simplest condition or simplest case for the determination of effective stress and total stress. So we will meet again in our next lecture with another case for the determination of effective stress and total stress. Till then, keep learning, keep growing.